The story you're about to see is the story of identical twin sisters. While one is surviving, the other is thriving.
My name is Rosemary and my highest weight was 447 pounds. I have a sister, a twin sister. Her name is Connie.
I'm Connie Bailey. I live in Dallas, Texas. I'm a grandmother of 2 children. I have a wonderful husband. I am very blessed to have a twin, because without her, I couldn't function. We've been close since we were little.
Connie and I were big babies. And, you know, a big baby to the Hispanic family is a healthy baby, okay? A skinny baby is a, you know, not very well fed, and, you know, they don't see that as good. They see it as, you know, not fed. So we were big babies. I would ask God, I want to be thin. Why can't I be thin? As a child, I saw my brothers very thin and athletic and running, and they could go to the store and get any kind of pair of pants that they wanted. But we didn't. We couldn't do that. Mother had to go always to like the Sears maternity side of the store to find us clothes. And that was okay, because we didn't know really why she was doing it. We didn't really see it that way, you know. But we knew we couldn't go on that side of the store to buy clothes. We had to go on this side of the store to buy clothes. And that was kind of how we thought things were supposed to be. It affected me in the way that, why did God make them, as a child, why did God make them thin and make me fat? Why are they not having an issue, and why am I having an issue? We're from the same family. I should look similar.
Our 5 brothers were never heavy when they were in their youth. Never. And you see just me and my sister, these little chunky little girls walking down the street, and we've always enjoyed food, but it wasn't ever taken away from us.
I had one brother that would tell us, you can only walk a block away from us. You know, we're gonna go to the movies, but you're going to walk. Connie and I would have to walk behind him. We had rocks literally thrown at us if we got any closer. If you're coming too close, you're gonna get a rock thrown at you. So we had to make sure to, you know, stay behind. In our little minds, we're thinking, fat is embarrassing. Fat is not acceptable. We are not accepted, you know. And that started at a very young age. And yes, I did have anger. My father passed away when I was 4.5 years old. It was a difficult time for my mother.
I still remember my dad, and I can still tell you stories of my father. You know, him holding us on his lap and him biting us our little noses off and our cheeks, and he was a very quiet man. He didn't talk a whole lot. You know, he was very strict too with the boys, but when it came to his girls, it was like we got anything we wanted, you know?
The memories that I remember of my father were also food related. When my dad came from work, he always had peanut butter crackers in his coat. So we looked for that, you know. We expected a treat when he came from work. And I remember that vividly.
But when he died, it was over. Nobody spoiled us. You know, it was just me and my sister. And so, even though I had my 5 brothers that I love, it wasn't the same.
Growing up without a dad, the only thing I can remember is having different men in my home, because my mom was single and was trying to find a dad for us. And that was a very difficult time for me.
We stayed in our rooms all the time. We nailed the door. Why didn't you question us, Mother? The men that my mother would bring into the home, she thought they were these nice men. And they weren't. And they liked to fondle us. Then my mother got married. And my stepfather was just the same. But one day, he got a little bit more than he should have touched us. And we could never tell our mother. I felt like she would not believe me.
I was molested as a child, and she did not know about it. I don't understand why I could not tell her. I felt ashamed. As a child, I couldn't tell her my secret. I don't know why I thought, I've got to keep this from Mom because I don't want to hurt Mom. Mom's already been hurt enough.
Every time we would move to another house, I would nail the door. The kind that you know, if you came in, you could move the nail. My mother never questioned that. As a mother now, I would question a lot of things.
I think as a child, I didn't want to bring more pain to my mother because I would see my mother cry at night, you know, and I would see her go through the pain of having to pay bills when there was no money to pay bills. And so I didn't want to bring more pain to her, so I couldn't tell her that man and that man and that man and that man did something to me because it was more than once. So I think that's when food began to comfort me. That's when I would run and hide because this was all done in secret. So food was done in secret. That's when I took that food and comforted myself. And that's how I took care of the situation. So what I was doing is I was creating a bigger body, a bigger shell, a bigger shell, a bigger shell. So, and that's how I reached to 447 pounds. I had just fallen. It took 4 men to pick me up. And that's my breaking point. I'm at school. I'm a school teacher. I'm at school. I'm walking across the floor. I didn't pay attention, and I fall. My youngest daughter came running to me. But I had fallen in a way that I was sprawled out, literally, like a ball. And I could not get up on my knees. I couldn't get up on my knees. And my daughter's yelling, "Mom, what do I do? What do I do?" I said, "Bring me a little chair and I'll get up, fine." Not anywhere in my brain did I think, I can't get up off this floor. There's no way I can get up off this floor. I just kind of, in my brain, thought that I could push myself up. But at 447, you're not going to get up.
Not too long ago, I fell. And when I fell, my husband had had surgery and he couldn't get me up. And I didn't know what to do. And I have fallen before in that house plenty of times. I cannot use my knees. I can't put any pressure on my knees. So I have to keep my legs straight, and my husband, all he does is grab my arms and lifts me. No problem.
And so I rolled over and rolled back over, and I'm looking at kids, look at me, with this horrific pain in their face. They're all trying to help me, but nobody can help me. I had to wait until my husband came. He could not pick me up. He had to run and get another man. They couldn't pick me up.
He tried and he tried and he had to use his crutches. He thought I could just reach for his crutch and that I would be able to get myself up. That ain't happening. It did not happen. We had to call the fire people to come out there, and 3 men had to lift me, one from the back and one on each side, to get me up.
It took 4 men, 4, not 2, not 3, 4, to help me up. And plus, my little first grader daughter had her hands on my rear, and I can still picture it and feel it today, where she's literally pushing Mom up off the floor. And I could feel her little hands literally in my skin. And I said, "No more. This is it." But that night, I had cried out to God, and I said, "God, if this is the way I have to live for the rest of my life, I don't want to live anymore." And because I was only existing. I wasn't living, just existing. had no idea that she had already tried to get gastric bypass. I had no idea what gastric bypass was. When the doctor began to explain it to me, I was like, oh, Connie. Well, I got home. I didn't have a cell phone back then. I got home and I started explaining to her. She goes, yeah, I know about gastric bypass. I've been trying to get it. I go, what do you mean? She goes, well, I got denied. You know, my insurance keeps denying me. And I said, well, Connie, I just got approved. And I remember that moment because I thought, I didn't know very much about gastric bypass, but I thought, how can I be told I'm approved and not you?
When she was approved for having gastric bypass, to me that was a big blessing. But then I also thought I was going to get approved because I had the same insurance she did. And it didn't happen. The insurance said that there was a clause and that they would not cover any obesity. I have real bad knees, so I was going to try to get knee surgery. So the surgeon said, well, let me do a letter. He goes, because really, I could do the surgery, but because of your weight, if you don't lose that weight, it's not going to help you. I need that weight off of you. So he did a beautiful letter. He talked to my doctor, and she did a letter, and they also denied me.
There's always that hope. But when she kept getting denied and denied and denied, and I kept losing more weight, and I kept finding my person, who I was becoming, it brought me to the realization that maybe she's never, ever gonna see it.
It felt like somebody had just shot me in the head. I felt like it's over, it's done with. You know, I'm gonna be big for the rest of my life. You know, I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of dealing with the insurance companies because they make me feel like, okay, something's gonna happen this time. All you need is this and this and this and that, and you need to see the nutrition, and you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it this time. And then they deny me. And when they denied me that time, I felt like I had been shot. My heart was aching.
Every time I told her that I was walking and not getting tired, every time I told her I get to go to Six Flags today and get on rides, every time I told her the happiness, I could feel her pain. And in my brain, I'm thinking, when is she going to see this? I want this so bad for her, because I'm finally living. I know exactly how she's feeling because I was bigger than her at this moment. I knew what it was to get in the bed and roll on the bed and have your tummy popped out half the bed. I knew what it was to get in a tub and be afraid that you can't get out of the tub because you're so heavy. Your arms feel heavy, your legs feel heavy, and you're only existing and not living. And I want her to live. I want Connie to live her life with her husband the way I'm living mine. When she said that Connie's gonna be the first recipient, I'm like, what? I stopped. I couldn't hardly breathe. I was like someone just hit me in the stomach, but in a good way, in a good way. And it was like I felt for the first time, it's gonna happen. She's gonna get to be me. She's gonna get to step in these shoes. Ow. I couldn't hardly contain myself.
I get the phone call, and Rosemary says, "Are you sitting down?" I said, "Yeah, what?" And I'm thinking the worst. I'm like, "Rosemary, what's the matter? Are you sitting down?" I go, "Yes, I'm sitting down. What's happening? What happened?" I'm thinking something's wrong with her husband, or she's coming back to Dallas or something. And she says, and she starts crying, which is no good news for me. So I'm getting even more upset. And she goes, "Connie, you're getting the surgery." And I could not stop crying. I was so excited.
Every time I saw him help an obese person, they said, you know, you're like an angel to me. When I saw Dr. Garth for the first time, I was viewing a TV show, and he was helping a Mexican man. I can't think of his name, but he was in his home and he couldn't get out of his bed. And when I saw Dr. Garth go through all of the steps and the procedures for him to have his surgery, I thought, Dr. Garth is an angel to so many people, never knowing that this man would ever come into our life, ever. But Dr. Garth has been an angel, and that's how I view him.
Gracias. You're the biggest blessing in my life, that I know that you've got more surgeries under your belt, and that I trust him with my body to do the surgery. It's
like more than just winning the lottery for me, for her. It's more than that, because she's even having the surgery with the person that we saw it happening for so many others. The reason a doctor should do this for the people that are having such a hard time with insurance, you're giving that person a chance to live, to finally see something that they've never seen in their whole entire life. I think that an obese person not only wants health, but they want to live. And how do you live? You walk daily. You experience on a daily basis life, just like you breathe.
I envision myself moving, running, being with my grandkids, getting in a car and driving. I drove all my life. And now I haven't driven in 7 years since my grandchild has been born. I have 2 grandchildren. I would love to get them in the car and take them to go see a movie. Just me and my grandchildren.
If I was to say anything to the Weight Loss Foundation of America, it would be that it's not just a thank you, it's a hug.
I feel like I'm gonna get my life back, my health. I feel like they're bringing my husband even closer to me. Someone had commented to me and said, what is the one thing you want out of this weight loss surgery? And I don't know if I should say it, but I'm going to. I said, I want to be able to make love to my husband instead of my husband making love to me. And I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but as a big person, the other person does more of the work than the individual. So that's what I want.
I want to say to Connie that you're going to get a chance to be the most awesome person, the healthy person that you want to be. And you're going to be able to live the life that you've always wanted. And we're going to live together. I'm watching my sister today as I'm helping her come down the stairs, go up the stairs. I'm helping her shower. And I can see in about a year or so, she's going to be doing all that on her own without any help of me. We're going to be able to walk together, side to side, and have no issues. She's not going to hold on to my hand because she's afraid of falling. We're going to actually be able to get on a plane together and go somewhere. That's what I want. I want her to experience what I'm experiencing. And I love the Weight Loss Foundation of America. I love that the fact that they started it with the one person that I love. And it's more than a thank you. I can't say thank you enough, but I can say I love you.
For the Weight Loss Surgery Foundation of America, this is only the beginning. With the generous support of those in the medical community and viewers like you, we intend to help many more. To find out how you can help, please visit the Weight Loss Surgery Foundation of America website at WLSFA.org to learn more. Thank you.